See, it's the end of the day. We just got done, and I'm going to make this is really an addendum video. I recorded, I think it was an almost 7-minute video this morning as I was on the way to court. And it turns out, for whatever reason, no sound. So that's frustrating for me, and it's going to be frustrating for you. The second part of the video, which was sort of the after court video, has sound. So let me just sort of give you the Reader's Digest version of what was happening this morning. I was on the way to court, specifically Marchman Court. I had two cases that were on the docket. One of them was involving an individual who was already under guardianship, and we had a Marchman Act in place. We were actually going back for an extension of the treatment services order. This is the third extension. This is a young man with a long history of substance use and mental health issues. And as I think I've told many of you, in our office, we typically use the Marchman Act anywhere between 3 and 6 months. This one is going to go close to 9 months when all is said and done. The max I've done under a Marchman Act is 2 years. I had somebody under a Marchman Act for 2 years, and every 90 days I went back in and renewed the treatment services hearing. So, the treatment services order, which was done at an extension hearing. And so, look, it takes time when someone's been sick. Anybody who tells you they can fix this in 30 days, I mean, lawyers or clinicians or whoever, or treatment centers tell you, well, 30 days is enough. I mean, good luck with that. I mean, that only happens in the movies. If you have a loved one who's been sick for a long time, and I'm talking years, yeah, I mean, you think of this as a year-long project. I'm not telling you got to hire us for a year, but you got to do 3 to 6 months of some form of treatment. And then they have to work aftercare. What does that look like? Getting a sponsor, going to AA, following the 12 steps, continuing with some type of outpatient clinical services. And if you can get to that year, at that point, you hope, based on what we've seen, you hope that the person can now maintain recovery for the rest of their lives. But they have to continue to work on it. I mean, it's not like, oh, we did a year, we're good. No, it doesn't work that way. But at some point, this just becomes part of your daily life, like getting up. Like I like to go to the gym 4 mornings a week. It's just part of my routine. I don't even think about it. I know Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm going to the gym. And if I don't make Friday, I'm going on Saturday morning. That's just my routine. 4 days a week, it happens. No questions asked. I just get it done. So we had an extension hearing, which got continued. So we're going to be back in court on that in a week or two. And so that's a Marchman and a guardianship. The other case involves a young man where we filed the Marchman Act, and in the middle of it, he got Baker Acted. And so, and the state in that case has filed for an extension, and it's been granted. So this is why I say a couple of things. Number one, what's predictable about these cases is they're unpredictable, right? I mean, who could have predicted when we filed the Marchman Act that, he'd get to a facility and need to be Baker Acted? But perhaps just as importantly, is understanding how all these things work together. Marchman Act, Guardianship, Baker Act. And there have been times when we have been in all three courts, Marchman Court, Guardianship Court, and Baker Act Court, on the same case, sometimes in the same week. So when somebody says, oh, you only need a Marchman Act, you only need a guardianship, you only need this, you only need that. I mean, you cannot, I think that's wishful thinking because of the unpredictable nature of these kinds of cases, right? So I share this with you so you understand what can happen. And we're prepared for it because, I mean, this is all that we do, right? I don't do any other kind of work. I don't do car accidents. I don't divorce work. I don't do criminal work. I leave that for the other lawyers. I do one thing. We have one mission in this office, and we do not divert from it, which is to save your family. When you have a loved one who has substance use, mental health disorders, and failed attempts at recovery. So that was my morning. I was actually in a shirt and tie for court, but that's what it was about. And I'm going to try and give you more of a behind the curtains look at how we do things so that you can say, is this the kind of law firm I want to work with? I want to work with this lawyer and his team. And so this is how it really works. This is the practice of law dealing with these kinds of cases. So I appreciate you tuning in. I'm sorry about the sound on the other video. Technology's never been one of my stronger suits, but next time I make a video like that, I'm going to make sure the sound works. But hopefully this gives you an idea of what this morning was about. And if you check out part 2, you'll hear what happened a little bit more. So with that said, have a good rest of what's left of the evening. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.